What's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to my channel. And before we get into today's video, you know the drill. Make sure to subscribe and sack that like button if you haven't already. Trying to keep everything going up here on this channel. And without further ado, let's begin. So I'm going to get into my NFL Week 2 2022 preview. And after a crazy Week 1, I'm excited to see what Week 2 is going to bring us. So starting off with the Thursday night game, which is tomorrow. Chargers at Chiefs. This very well may be the best game of the week. Winner takes first place in the loaded AFC West. The Chiefs and Chargers in the Mahomes-Herbert era have played each other 4 times. The series between them is 2-2. Both times the Chargers won, it was in KC, and both times the Chiefs won, it was in LA. This one's in KC. But I think, last year the Chiefs beat the Chargers the last time they played, and the time before that, the Chiefs really beat themselves, turning the ball over 4 times within their first 4 possessions. So I think if the Chiefs get out to, playing their game, and even though the Chargers are playing well too, I think the Chiefs are the better team. I think that the Chiefs have a good offensive line to combat that good Chargers pass rush, which is going to give Mahomes the time he needs to go up against that secondary that will not have J.C. Jackson. And to add to it, I think the Chiefs defense will definitely benefit from Keenan Allen not playing. I'm taking the Chiefs in this one 27-24. Next game up, Patriots at Steelers. The Steelers are coming off of a win. The Patriots are coming off of a loss. I just think the Steelers have a lot of good receivers that will be able to have a lot of good mismatches against the Patriots. And I think Najee Harris will get going too, while I think Mac Jones will struggle against the Steelers defense due to the lack of weaponry and due to the lack of O-line. So I'm taking the Steelers in this one 27-17. Next up, Panthers at the Giants. The Giants coming off of a win, the Panthers coming off of a loss. I think we saw Saquon Barkley heavily involved. I think he's going to be heavily involved this week as well. They're going up against a team that doesn't have a great front seven, so I think Saquon Barkley will have a big day on the ground and through the air. And I think the Giants' front seven will be able to at least slow down the Panthers' running attack a little bit better than the Panthers will be able to slow down theirs. I'm taking the Giants in this one 30-27. Jets at the Browns. Browns coming off of a win. The Jets, a little bit of a disappointing Week 1 game for them. They're going to be going up against a very strong running game plus a very strong pass rush. I don't think the Jets have what it takes to be able to handle Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, and to add to it, they don't have a mobile quarterback in Joe Flacco. Expect Joe Flacco on the ground a lot in this game. I'm taking the Browns 24-16. Next game up, Colts at the Jaguars. The Jaguars have owned the Colts when it comes to playing them in Jacksonville for a while now. They kept them from making it to the playoffs last year. This is a different Colts team, but at the same time, that tie with the Texans was very strange last week. So we shall see. The Jaguars put up a good fight against the Commanders. I'm interested in seeing how well Trayvon Walker and company will be able to stop Jonathan Taylor, the #1 overall pick, and then see what Trevor Lawrence can do against that Colts defense. I'm going to take the Colts to win this one 24-17. I think they finally win in Jacksonville. Next up, Dolphins at the Ravens, which is a bit of a grudge match because that loss the Ravens had last year to the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football was humiliating. They got completely dominated, and that was the start of the unraveling of the Ravens season. I think this one in Baltimore, the Ravens have a great running attack. I think they'll beat the Dolphins. I take them 23-16 to beat the Dolphins. I don't think the Dolphins will be able to get them this time, and I think Tua will, and the Dolphins offense as a whole will struggle with that strong Ravens defense. Coming up next, Bucks versus Saints. Obviously the Saints have beaten now the Buccaneers, the last 7 times they've played them, not including the postseason. And when Tom Brady's under center in the regular season, they beat him the last 4 times. Now, last time they played, Brady got shut out in a 9-0 loss. The Buccaneers just really seem to own Brady, and the defensive coordinator that is able to, get Brady down is Dennis Allen, who's the head coach now. I think this is going to be a tough matchup for Tampa, as it usually is. I'm going to take the Saints to win this one 27-23. They're playing at home. I think this is a game that the Saints are going to pull out. Coming up next, Commanders at Lions. This one I kind of went back and forth on. Also, I'm going to go with the Commanders in this one, 31-27. The Commanders' offense looked pretty good. At least Carson Wentz did, but we'll see if he can carry it over. But I don't think the Lions have that good of a secondary, and they don't have the defense to be able to, I think, stop Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson in one-on-one situations. I'm going to take the Commanders in this one. Then the Seahawks at the 49ers. 49ers had a stunning Week 1 loss, and the Seahawks had a stunning Week 1 win. This has been one of the better rivalries over the last decade in the league. I'm going to take the Niners in this one to get the bounce-back win, 27-24, playing at home. They're going to be playing in regular conditions. I think this is the get-right game for the 49ers. And the Falcons at the Rams. I think this should be a easy game, if you will, for the Falcons. For the Rams. Even if if it's a close game at halftime, I think the Rams will eventually pull away in this game. I have them winning it 38-20. I don't think the Falcons secondary can handle the Rams wide receiving core, in particular Cooper Kupp. Plus, I don't think the Falcons have the offensive line to be able to contain Aaron Donald. Next up, Cardinals at the Raiders. Two teams that are coming off of a loss. I think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. Two mediocre defenses, in particular two mediocre secondaries, very bad secondaries, but two good offenses. I'm taking the Raiders in this one, 37-34. Then the Texans at the Broncos. Broncos coming off of a tough Monday night loss to open up their season. I'm going to take the Broncos in this one, 35-23. I think the Broncos will be able to get a really good running game going against the Texans. The Texans have a solid secondary, so I think the Broncos are going to be a run-first team in this game, and the Texans really don't have a good front seven. And with the Broncos, with Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon, those guys are going to go for probably almost 200 yards combined. Then the Bengals at the Cowboys. I'm taking the Bengals in this one. The Cowboys have too many stuff going on right now. Lack of receiving core, lack of offensive line, and to add to it, they got Cooper Rush at quarterback. I think this is a sloppy game, but I think the Bengals will pull it out 27-14. Then on Sunday Night Football, Bears at the Packers. Bears are at 1-0. Packers are at 0-1. This is obviously a big game. I just think the Packers have too good a defense for the Bears to be able to do anything when the Bears don't even have that good of an offense to begin with. And to add to it, they got a lot of young players in that secondary, which I think Rodgers will be able to manipulate a bit. I got the Packers winning this one 27-9, but I would find it hilarious if the Bears can pull it out. Then the first of two Monday night games, Titans versus Bills. The Titans have beaten the Bills the last couple times they've played, which wasn't surprising because the Bills are a team that has struggled with stopping the run, and the Titans had, a top running back in football. But I think the Bills' run defense has improved, and the Titans, I don't know how strong of a power back. I don't know if Derrick Henry is going to be that same guy who's able to put a team on his back and win like he did the last time he played. The Titans played the Bills, and I just don't see how the Titans defense completely holds the Bills off to keep it within reach. They'll slow them down at times. The Titans have a solid secondary, but I think the Bills should win this game. I'm picking the Bills 27-20. I think it's a game where the Bills have the lead throughout most of the game. Titans get a couple of late scores. Then the Vikings at the Eagles. This is a big game for both teams to really, show that they're for real. Both teams coming off of a win. The Vikings in particular had a big win. Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football is really not good. I believe he's like 1-10 or something. I think the Eagles are going to be fired up. They're playing at home, and this is the most hype they've gotten since they won that Super Bowl. I think the Eagles will win this game, but it could really go either way, like a lot of the games this week. I'm picking the Eagles, though, 28-27. Comment down below what you guys think about all this. I can't wait for this week to get going. It's going to be wild. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.